The sulfur is a thick yellow rot at the back of my throat. It tastes of the roots of the world being turned inside out. Here, where the earth bleeds fire and the sky is a bruised sheet of charcoal ash, the silence has always been a holy thing. But today the silence has been murdered. It was killed by a sound that does not belong to the ears of men, a low rhythmic thrumming that makes the black sand of the Icelandic coast dance in geometric patterns of terror. I am Thurid. My eyes have seen the threads of the Norns, but they never foretold the coming of the iron eel. The harvesters did not descend from the clouds with wings. They rose from the boiling vents of the earth, dragging their obsidian machinery into our cold, thin air. Ahead of me, the resonance tower stands like a jagged needle of black glass, piercing the heart of a steaming geyser. It vibrates with a frequency that shatters the teeth of the weak. Around its base, the trench stalkers are swarming, creatures of the deep-sea trenches that move through the volcanic steam with a stuttering nightmare grace. They are the size of polar bears but shaped like segmented shadows, their limbs ending in vibrating glass needles that can slice through a Viking's mail shirt like it was rotted linen. Salvi. To the pillars. If the song of the stone is not woken, the mountain will fall. I scream, my voice nearly lost in the roar of the geyser. Salvi does not look back. He is a wall of scarred muscle and fur, his boots sinking into the black volcanic mud. He carries an axe of impossible weight, its head forged from the starbone wreckage we found in the fjords. The blade hums with a pale blue light, hungry for the ichor of the abyss. A trench stalker leaps from the mist, its blue-glowing maw open to unleash a jet of pressurized, freezing brine. Salvi spins, his movements a blur of animal instinct. He catches the creature mid-air, the starbone axe cleaving through its oily carapace. The sound is like glass being crushed in a fist. A spray of sapphire fluid hits the steam, vaporizing into a toxic blue cloud. Salvi doesn't stop. He kicks the twitching remains into the boiling water and continues his climb toward the runic circle. I reach the central pillar. It is a column of basalt as old as the sagas, etched by the first settlers with runes of binding and silence. I know now they were not prayers to Odin. They were anchors. They were dampeners left by those who knew the deep-sea horrors were listening. I raise my staff. It is a 3-foot length of iridescent alien bone, capped with a shard of pulsing amber. I strike the basalt. Tum. The sound is a deep, golden bell. The crimson runes on the pillar ignite, the light flowing through the stone like blood. A wave of golden interference ripples outward, visible in the ash-thick air. The resonance tower responds. The obsidian spike glows violet, and a massive pulse of sonic energy erupts from its apex. The two forces collide 50 feet above the mud, creating a sphere of distorted reality where the falling snow turns into steam and then into ice in the blink of an eye. The ground beneath us groans, the very tectonic plates of Iceland struggling against the alien vibration. They're coming for the stone, Thurid. Salvi roars. 4 more stalkers emerge from the geothermal vents, their red ocular sensors fixed on me. They realize the pillar is the source of the interference. They move in unison, their segmented bodies clicking like 1,000 needles. Salvi meets the first one with a horizontal swing that decapitates the beast, but the second one catches his shoulder with a vibrating glass needle. I see the red blood fly, contrasting sharply with the black ash. Salvi grunts, his knees buckling for a second, but he drives the hilt of his axe into the creature's maw and triggers the starbone's discharge. A burst of white electricity fries the stalker from the inside out, its internal biomechanics melting into a pool of gray slag. Hit the stone again. Salvi screams, his breath coming in ragged, bloody gasps as he fights off the remaining 2. I strike the basalt once, twice, 3 times. I follow the rhythm of the earth, the slow, heavy heartbeat of the volcano. The golden ripples become a flood. Every time I strike, the resonance tower's violet light flickers and dims. The alien machinery cannot handle the feedback. Its sensors were designed for the crushing silence of the deep trenches, not the resonant fury of the mountain's heart. The obsidian spike begins to crack. The sound of the cracking is like 1,000 glaciers breaking at once. Violet energy leaks from the fissures, turning the nearby snow into a toxic, glowing slush. The trench stalkers suddenly freeze, their neural link to the tower shattered. They collapse into the mud, their limbs twitching uselessly. The center. Strike the center. Salvi throws his axe. It is a desperate, final gambit. The starbone blade spins through the air, a wheel of blue lightning. It strikes the central fissure of the resonance tower just as I deliver the final, crushing blow to the basalt pillar. The world disappears in a supernova of golden and violet light. A massive shockwave of pure sonic pressure flattens the basalt columns and sends a wall of steam and ash rushing across the highlands. I am thrown backward, the air leaving my lungs, my skin feeling as if it were being flayed by the wind. Then the silence returns. Not the murdered silence from before, but the old silence. The holy silence of Iceland. I pull myself up from the black sand. My staff is broken, the amber shard dark and cold. I look toward the geyser. The resonance tower is gone. In its place is a jagged pile of cooling obsidian shards and a deep, scorched hole in the earth. The geothermal vent is quiet, the steam rising in gentle, white ribbons again. Salvi is lying 20 paces away, his armor shredded, his body covered in a mix of red and blue blood. He is breathing, his chest moving in slow, heavy heaves. He looks at me and gives a weak, blood-stained grin. The song is finished, he rasps. I look at the sky. The black clouds are breaking, revealing a pale, weak sun that reflects off the fresh snow. The harvesters have been silenced. Their great needle has been broken by the stone and the bone. I walk to the edge of the crater. The blue fluid of the stalkers is already being washed away by the melting snow, sinking into the volcanic soil. The earth has claimed the invaders, turning their cold metal into just another layer of the island's history. I don't look for a sign of their return. I don't look for the next ship. I look at the basalt pillar. The runes are dark again, the stones silent and ancient. We have held the mountain. We have kept the silence. The ash settles over the black mud, a gray shroud for a battle that will never be told in the halls of kings. The wind carries the scent of sulfur away, replaced by the crisp, clean smell of the ice. I help Salvi to his feet, our shadows long and thin against the white snow, and we begin the long walk back to the coast. The fire is deep. The stone is cold. The mountain remains. The light of the afternoon fades into a bruised purple, and the stars begin to peer through the clouds, distant, silent, and for tonight, unmoving. The world is whole, the resonance is dead, and the snow falls softly over the ruins of the star spawn, burying the metal beneath the weight of the north.